Not everyone said congratulations.
No, it was more like, I'm sorry. I used to use the R word in high school. Was I being punished? No. This kid is here for me, to be an advocate, to get people on track, to get people to see.
Dead silence in the delivery room. My husband went over to look. She's got 10 fingers and 10 toes. She's okay. Then the doctor came over and said, she has characteristics of Down syndrome. In that moment, my world fell apart.
You don't know where to turn. We were stationed in Korea when Zackery was born. I didn't know anything about kids with Down syndrome, but I have Zackery, and that was my first step.
1994, no Google, no iPad, no smartphone, only 4 books in the local library, and one horrible, monotone social worker that I sent away.
Shock. I didn't want to hear imperfect. Emotional roller coaster. Why me? Why us? Why our baby? Will people be mean to him? Will he drive? What will happen on his birthdays? Who will he go to prom with?
Grieving what could be. What about going to dances and on dates and getting married and having kids? About little girls and the things they do and what they can be.
The National Down Syndrome Society in New York City sent us the information overseas.
One doctor said, not too long ago, they usually institutionalize these children. Institutionalize my baby? Crazy! The list of negativity was then poured out. Low muscle tone, slow to develop, intellectually slow, cognitively, their memory would be poor. I called my friend who brought another woman with her to the hospital. A woman whose daughter has Down syndrome. She brought papers from her child's school and photos of her on sports teams. Her daughter was okay. My daughter would be okay too. Hope.
It might take a typical kid 100 times, and it might take him 5,000 times, but he will get it.
2nd grade, IEP. The occupational therapist says she can't cut a curvy line. I worry. Will she be liked? Will she get a job? Will she be understood when she speaks? Will she behave appropriately in public? Will she be happy and healthy? I don't give a damn about a curvy line.
One teacher wanted medication to slow him down. He's too wild, too busy. I said he has Down syndrome, not ADHD. You have to crack the code and find something. Dig deeper. Crack that code.
You depend on the educators to teach, but we are Rachel's advocates. In 1st grade, we asked, what are we working on? Numbers, colors, words. Answer, everything she's learning is in her communication book. Rachel loves PE. Rachel loves choir. Rachel loves library. Turn the page. Rachel loves PE. Rachel loves choir. Rachel loves library. Turn the page. Rachel loves PE. Rachel loves choir. Rachel loves library. It didn't tell us anything we didn't already know. We didn't know what she was learning. Parent-teacher conference. We put the book on the table. Show me. I don't see it. The teacher slammed her hand on the table and said, this conference is over. Darn right this is over. We called the State Advocacy Services, Disability Rights South Dakota. Next conference, the principal was there, the head of the special education department, her assistant, the school psychologist, the speech teacher, the occupational therapist, the physical therapist, everybody was there.
Middle school, middle of the day. My husband dropped by the school. Our son was sleeping in a beanbag chair. The teacher said Zackery was tired. We didn't send our son to school to sleep. Another year, we found out that there were 2 separate special education classrooms, a higher functioning and a lower functioning. Zackery was in the lower functioning because he was so well behaved. He had even been made the teacher's aide. We didn't know that there were 2 separate special education classrooms, and I never thought to ask that question. I was an involved parent, and I didn't know. Why hadn't he been in a higher classroom all these years instead of playing with blocks? He needed to be around people who talked, who used words, who would teach him to become better, who teach him to communicate. We would rather have him be at the bottom of the top than the top of the bottom.
High school. We fill out her dream schedule, just like we did with our other kids. Turned it in. Fax class, choir, pottery, drama. Her schedule comes back and shows contained classroom for 6 hours a day. We were told, we don't have kids like this in those classes. They don't take these kids.
IEPs. Depressing. Your child can't do this. Your child can't do that.
One teacher noticed her love of performing and invited her to be in a production of Oklahoma. She knew all the songs and all the actors' lines, and years later, she still does. They told me she wouldn't remember anything.
One teacher learned of his love of hockey, so she made flashcards with the names and the numbers of all the hockey players to help teach him how to read. Now he can read the clock at the hockey games and follow the timer.
We went to the drama teacher and he said yes. Now these kids get out of those contained classrooms.
And these kids are smarter than perceived. Don't label them, give them a chance. He's just awesome.
She has dreams, get a job and get an apartment.
He wants to drive and go to college.
Get a cat and getting married.
He wants an apartment with a weight room.
She wants to own her own nail salon someday and teach others how to do makeup.
Don't forget that disco ball.
There was a gap and we needed to fill it for ourselves and for other families. We formed Ups of Downs Family Support Group. Our annual fundraiser is the Buddy Walk, where individuals with Down syndrome all come together and have a good time. It's like we're all related.
It is a common denominator. When you're pregnant, you notice others who are pregnant. And when you have a child with Down syndrome, you notice others with Down syndrome. How's his heart? How are her lungs? You exchange information with total strangers because of your shared bond.
Ups of Downs now gives out hospital bags full of information. Joy and support can be put at the parents' fingertips.
You know what? Our children can teach us more. They can teach everyone, and they can do anything. I am constantly learning from him, and he always broadens my scope.
Now we show up to the hospital when a child is born and say, "Congratulations, this is going to be amazing for you."